Hello, and welcome back to the Women's Rugby Show weekly podcast with me, Sam, by the way, back again for another episode. Just 3 games in the PWR this weekend to match the 3 games in the Celtic Challenge. But in this episode, we're going to be talking all things PWR from the Saracens camp, the Loughborough Lightning camp, and also the Bristol Bears camp on a massive weekend for both Saracens and Bristol Bears as they look to get their campaign for the top 4 back on track after falling to losses last weekend. Sure to be another belting episode, so make sure you follow us across all social medias and also check us out on Spotify if you listen to this on YouTube and also the reverse as well. Let's get into this one then.
No, if we want to keep it in our own hands. As simply as that. If we want to keep our fate in our own hands, we have to win. If we lose, I still think we can make top 4. I think 56 points gets you there, just. But I don't want to go down that road, if I'm honest. So, like I said, we don't want to be looking at results coming in at the weekend. I was watching the Loughborough Saracens Twitter feeds at the weekend because obviously it wasn't streamed, and Saracens were tweeting more than Loughborough, and then Loughborough were tweeting faster than Saracens. So, yeah, it wasn't the most stress-free Sunday it could have been for me, after our game as well. So, I don't really want to do that every weekend for the next 5 weekends, to be honest.
Touched on Kira last week and kind of the race to get her back fitted. Do you reckon have you kind of won that battle with the physios for this weekend?
Sam, it's a good question. Yes, I have won the battle. Just.
And just on that, obviously, Fion's kind of stepped into that role last week. Just kind of how impressed were you with her? Obviously, we spoke about it a little bit last week, how impressed she's been coming back to 15s, but obviously back in a PWR playing 70, 75 odd minutes as well.
Yeah, well, I think Fion came up to me after the game. I think she said she's never played that long in her life in any game of rugby, let alone the first game back starting for us against Gloucester in a game. And she talked about the intensity, and she also talked about enjoying it, which was one of the main things that I said to Fion before the game. Just go out and enjoy it, play your natural game. As I said, I thought she was great. I thought the fact that we've got now Fiona and Kira both available for this game just adds a little bit of strength to that area in terms of the experience. I think Tilly Ryle's going to be a fantastic 9. She's probably not quite there yet. But I think those two, like I said, it's a really good position for us to be in, to have 2 quality Welsh international scrum halves who are very different in the way they play. But I think, like I said, it's exciting for us as a team.
And you mentioned kind of watching that Loughborough game, watching the tweets about it, just kind of how thankful were you for when that full-time whistle went?
Well, I suppose in a way, Sam, it's quite a weird one because of the fact that we don't play Saracens again, it doesn't help us that much. It does, but it doesn't. Do you know what I mean? It keeps people down with us. But I suppose we want to not keep people down with us. We want to rise up above them. And that's a challenge from my perspective. I've watched that game back now, and it's an interesting game to say the least. I don't know if you were there or not, but I think you were our game. So I think from that perspective, I think Loughborough played really well. I think Helena Rowland's back very soon as well. So all of a sudden they're going to be very full strength. And like I said, we're one of the teams that has to play them in the run-in. So it's going to be a game that we're going to be looking at when it comes as a game we certainly don't want to slip up on.
Cheers, Dave. Thank you. Maybe just a couple of comments from me. You touched on walking around the pitch and just kind of, I think alone was walking around for an hour and a half. We worked out, sat in the press bit after. Just how long were you walking around for?
I think I was out there for probably about an hour. I did make my way around the whole stadium because I did want to make sure I saw everyone and said thank you for everything that they had come to support us. And friends and family were there, which are always nice to see. But actually there were so many new faces and so many people that wanted things signed, so many people in kit buying shirts and things with names on the back. I was out there for a while, but I loved every minute of it.
Just how special is that kind of as a player to see all these people coming out to watch women's sport and coming out to watch Bristol Bears women?
Yeah, it's still very surreal for me. I think, having that massive crowd is not something that you get every time. So it was a real special occasion. And I think we have some of the best fans in the league. Win, lose, they're always there, always supporting us, and they always want to come back. And I think that means a massive amount to us and really does show the growth of the women's game and how far it's going to go. People who have never watched a single game of rugby before came along. People who have always been there and have been dedicated supporters were there. So whether they were new or old, we're always thankful. And I think, some of the best fans.
Have you spotted anyone with your name on the back of the shirt yet?
Not yet. If anyone wants to do that, it would be really cool. But no, I think one of my colleagues from work actually came along and his daughter had Pam on the back, which was really, really cool. And yeah, it was really nice to see. So yeah, and you see like before a couple of seasons ago when someone had Burgess on the back, and you see how special it is. So hopefully more and more will get on the back of the shirts.
Just quickly on that, obviously Bears are one of the teams in the league who have names on the back for the starting players. Do you think that's something that's quite important, kind of for visibility and also for the fans to know that, oh, that's who that is wearing that shirt, instead of just going number 11, number 12?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it gives us that identity. And I think it actually like celebrates us as players and as individuals. Like you said, like it's not just the number on your back, actually, it's your last name, it's your family. And I think it really carries that kind of special meaning behind the shirt as well, not just the Bristol Bears logo on the front, but actually your name on the back. And yeah, absolutely, it like identifies us to fans. And it makes, showcases that there's something to aspire to, that to go and get your name on the back of that shirt. And actually, like, even within the club itself, it's really, really, an amazing thing to try and get in that starting 15 anyway, but actually to get in that starting 15 and get your own shirt that you get to take home at the end of the season. I've given mine to family members, they can put up the house, and it's always a really special thing for them. And yeah, like for the fans, that they can get that on the back of their shirt, show their support for players, is yeah, really, really special.
Congratulations on the win at the weekend. You've spoken for quite a lot of this season about kind of that performance is going to be coming. Just kind of how happy are you that kind of that performance and that win that the girls have deserved came at the weekend?
Yeah, obviously extremely happy. Quite relieved, to be honest, because it's one of those things you can keep saying, but if you don't do, you look pretty foolish. So no, it's nice to finally get over the line. It's probably not. Weirdly, it's probably one. It's not our best performance of the year, but it's the one that got us through and got us over the line. So the girls are happy, and I'm certainly happy.
And you've also mentioned kind of how you're going to be one of the ones who kind of disrupt that top four battle with who you face after this. Obviously, you've got Gloucester as well, and Bristol coming up. Just kind of how much do you feel like you're going to be a disruptor in this top four battle at the moment?
To be honest, I'm not. Disrupting the top four is not our goal for the season, but what we are hoping to do is keep improving performance. And I think if we keep improving performance, then we will disrupt the top four, certainly. But the main focus is on us rather than on disrupting other people, and keep growing and building on the performance from the weekend. But like, I thought we played really well against Quins. I thought we played well against Sale coming into the game. So it's not a case of it's just happened. It is a case of it's been building week on week. So I'm pretty happy about that.
And just quickly, a word on Chrissy's performances, just kind of how much she's integrated so well into the league and into the Lightning side.
I think she's been exceptional. Like it does, and I've mentioned before, it takes a lot of time to transition from sevens to 15s, especially if you've not played a lot of 15s. Like, it's just a completely different game. But the raw skills that the top sevens players have, can do what Chris is doing. Like, but she's been really good. She's worked really hard. She's listened to the coaches, and that's paying off. So I'm really happy for her.
And just last one from me, obviously, you had Abby and Sardia making their 50th appearances last weekend. Daisy potentially making hers this weekend. Just kind of, how important are these players to the Lightning side, especially up front?
Oh, like massive. We think Lily's 50th Premiership appearance, a standalone Premiership appearance this week as well. It's just it's great because, again, just shows continuity within the forward pack. It's all well deserved, and then within Sardia, Daisy, and Lily, it's like three young English EQP forwards who are like gold dust at the moment. So it's we're really, really lucky to have them. But the main thing is, with all four of them, it's there's so much more growth in their game. It'd be exciting to see where they are within the next 50 games for Lightning, and where Lightning can be over that time as well.
And over Saracens, that we can kind of, how nice is it to finally get that win over the line, like, against one of the top four sides that's been coming all season.
Well, as you just said, it's been coming all season. I think we as a group and with Nathan, we've known that we have the capabilities to beat a top four side, and we've come close quite a few times, but obviously not quite close enough. So to finally start the new year with a bang and go and beat Saracens, which has never been done before from a Lightning perspective, I don't think we could be in a better place to start the year. And so excited for the girls. I'm really proud of the girls to be able to grit out, because the second half of that game became a really gritty game, and we managed to defend our line and make sure that we forced the errors where we needed to, and ultimately come away with a bonus point win, which was super exciting for us.
And it doesn't get any easier in terms of who you face and going into the defending champions this weekend. Just kind of how important is taking the momentum from that win against Sarries into Gloucester this weekend?
It's so important. You've got a tough run. We've got Gloucester away and we've got Exeter at home. We know that we can't just beat Saracens and be satisfied with that. We have to go up another level. And we've previewed what we're going to come up against, and we're really excited for the opportunity. The energy within camp over the past 2 weeks in this new year has been incredible. Like, the girls are just bouncing off each other, and there's so much positive energy going forward. I think the belief has just skyrocketed of what the girls are capable of doing.
I mean, speaking to Nathan kind of about how you stepped up into that leadership role a little bit more this season with the absence of Rachel Malcolm through injury, just kind of, is that something you relish and enjoy, and just kind of how much have you enjoyed doing that this year?
It's been a challenge, when I found out I was going to be a co-captain with Rachel, I was really excited. I think she's an incredible leader and she is so good at what she does. So I was excited to co-captain alongside her and learn from her. But obviously she unfortunately got injured quite early on in the season, and then it became my responsibility pretty quickly. I definitely wanted to do it alongside Rachel because, as I said, I wanted to learn from her. But we are a little bit different in the way that we lead. So it just became an opportunity for me just to go and try what I think is going to work for me. And it's been hard at times. You can't always just think about yourself on the pitch. It becomes about the wider picture and what the team needs and what the group needs, which is something that you don't experience until you get given that role. So it was new. I'm really lucky that at Loughborough we have the calibre of players that we do, like Emily Scarrett, Alev, Helen Nelson, a great bunch of natural leaders within the group that helped me bounce off them to come to decisions and have the right energy within the group. So I'm lucky that I was surrounded by those players to allow me to kind of develop and flourish in my own way.
And just finally for me, obviously, potentially making your 50th appearance for Lightning this weekend, just kind of how special is that to kind of reach that milestone, also for a club that you work closely with, working in the community as well, with Saints?
Yeah, it feels like it's come around really quickly. Like, it doesn't feel like I've played 50 games for Loughborough. Yeah, it's a massive honour. Like, I wouldn't do it without the girls that are here today and the girls that have been before us. Like, the group is such a special group. That's why I'm here playing rugby with Loughborough Lightning. And again, yeah, it's super special to have the support that we do. It's growing massively with the crowds that we get coming to Franklin's Gardens, and the double header showed that, the amount of people that wanted to stay. So it's really cool that there's girls and boys in the community that know who we are and come to support. So it's really special to be able to get my 50th appearance and achieve this milestone.
Alex, just first of all, kind of what are your kind of takeaways, kind of 48 hours on from the weekend against Loughborough?
First of all, Loughborough, as I said last week, are a good side, and they punished us in some areas of their attack, and defensively we struggled to break them down. Some for their pressure, some of our decision making and errors. So the reflections are that, to win games in this league, you got to play well, and we didn't play well enough in terms of, like I say, our execution. We created opportunity, but didn't take them when they arose. There's a lot of visits to the 22, so we've got to go away with more points than we did. And yeah, just small margins, but they make a big difference.
Just kind of looking ahead to the kind of running you've got now, just kind of how many eyes are on the running and how many are the mainly eyes on Leicester Tigers this weekend instead of kind of looking further ahead?
I think it's only eyes on Leicester. If you start looking too far down the road, you miss directly what's in front of you and you stumble there. So as I said last week, Loughborough was our focus, and this week it is Leicester is our sole focus. You get into if, buts, and maybes if you look too far down the line, where we know that we have to win this weekend against a Leicester team which is much improved, us on a high over having the victory at the weekend. So we've got to very much focus on this weekend and us being better, us taking the opportunities that arise, and probably, making sure we get to levels of physicality that we know we're capable of. Because again, if you fall short of what you're capable of, you're on the wrong side of results.
Is this weekend kind of as much as a must win as you can get at this stage of the season?
I think I go into every game saying it's a must win. We're made to win games of rugby. We're here to be successful. So again, you're probably looking at it in the context of the next 5 games, whereas I'm looking at it in the here and now. So yeah, it is a must win. As it stands, we've still got our own destiny in our hands. If you don't take the opportunities to keep that and to drive your own case forward, then it will bite you in the behind later down the line. So from that perspective, yeah, it is a must-win game. We want to keep our own destiny controlled by us, but also we need to build some momentum. It's been a bit stop-starty with win, then a subpar performance, a win, a subpar performance, kind of thing. So we need to start building some consistency. There's essentially a third of the season left. So if we can build that momentum this weekend and keep that going, then the end of February looks a little bit healthier than probably it looks right now.
Hi, McKinley. Just first of all, just kind of how much do you as a side kind of want to get back to winning ways and get the momentum back up heading into Leicester this weekend?
Yeah, massively. Definitely disappointing to lose that momentum. We got a lot of that momentum back in the Bristol game. But the good thing about it is that it's all within our control. Yes, we lost against Loughborough, but it was down to our own actions and our own self. So I think we have a real opportunity to put that right this weekend, and it's within our control, and I'm confident we'll be able to do that.
Just kind of how much do those kind of more experienced players, those internationals like Marley, within the squad kind of drive you through these tough patches and kind of make sure the team are taking over into the next week?
Yeah, they're massive. That leadership that we have is great. We have so many internationals, which is huge for us. But I wouldn't say that's just, those big name players that are driving that standard for us. It's 1 through 40, every single member of this team, even those girls who come in from the academy, from OA. So it's definitely a full squad effort, and that's what we need. We need the buy-in from everyone, not just some.